long ago did you get it then?
10 years ago.
10 years ago? Oh, so you got it just before the prices went through the roof.
I bought it for 11 too.
Oh, really? Wow.
It was 13.
Oh, wow.
13, I got him down to 11 too. I says, I'll either buy it today or I won't be back. And he took it. I had
Wow.
13 with me, like. I was coming home with it anyways.
And you still spanked him on 11?
Aye.
I bet he's kicking himself right now.
Aye, but
Remember that
then
deal?
that was the prices then.
Yeah.
But it was just after that they shot up in price. 2 years later, I mean, it was 20 grand.
Yeah, I couldn't believe how fast it went up.
Aye.
Like every time I looked, they were shifting by 2-3 grand at a time. It was
right.
every other month.
And if
they
you
were
actually
going
look
up.
now, there's hardly any for sale.
No, there isn't.
No,
Yeah,
no.
you can't blame people for not selling it.
Aye.
Yeah.
I've actually got a new headlight unit in it. It's coded.
Surprised you haven't got one in your collection.
Well, I had one, didn't I, in 2001, and I got rid of it for that Porsche 964. I had, like, you know, the one out of Bad Boys.
Oh yes, aye.
Yeah,
Aye.
I had one of them. Then I got rid of that for a Subaru Impreza, but I was 18 at the time, so I was swapping between cars.
Aye.
But we had them under business insurance because no one would touch me.
Aye, well that's right. You never got insured. That's it. Aye.
I was going, oh, it's just a show pony for the business, you know. And
I think
they
they can
went,
stop
oh,
that as well now.
Oh yeah,
Aye,
yeah.
you can't do it now. Aye, that's
Well,
the
back
trouble.
then you could.
Farmers were doing it as well, you can, but they've stopped it. Aye.
Self-igniting TVI.
Oh yeah, and then I got a TVR Tuscan that set fire to it. As all TVR stuff.
Be a nice car though.
Yeah, it was.
Aye.
It was absolute mint baby blue.
And I had an RS 3.1 Capri, which I wish I'd kept.
Oh, yeah, but look what you got now.
I know. Aye.
Look at that.
I mean, I had an XR4 that was supercharged. Nice car, great, but worth nothing because it wasn't an RS.
Well, even the Turbo Technics ones, they haven't went much up in price.
No, you can buy them all right. Aye.
Yeah, and they were like
I
the
mean,
dog's bollocks back in the
I
day.
got 3 grand for the car. It was immaculate. It was a clean car, and the engine cost me 3 grand because it was supercharged. So I got my money back for my engine. That was it. But then this come along, so you see, I ended up better off.
Yeah, because these are the later models, aren't they?
I've had the small turbo.
Yeah,
Aye.
yeah.
Drives better altogether.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
You haven't to wait.
Not
until
that
it comes
turbo
in.
lag.
No, you just accelerate.
Yeah.
Off it goes. Aye.
Yeah, man had a bit, was it the Lux with a bigger turbo?
Aye.
Oh my god, it suffered.
Really
Yeah, I
bad,
get
you see.
over
I've
four and a
never
half
actually driven
grand.
one, but aye,
Yeah, I
aye.
get over 4.5 grand before I'd done anything.
Aye, aye.
So you're constantly up in the revs
Aye.
all the time.
No, this you can just drive as a normal car.
Yeah.
And it just pulls when you want it to. That's it.
God, they were absolute weapons back in the day.
And I'm keeping it standard. It's got the standard wheels in it and that kind of thing.
Well, even them, when the car come out, the wheels were like, wow, they're huge.
Aye, yes.
Well,
aye.
now they're like tiny,
I know,
aren't
yes,
they?
aye, because they're only 16 inch.
Yeah, and then I can remember.
I've got the new RS Folks as well. They're 19 inch.
Oh, yeah.
So they're completely bigger wheels altogether.
Yeah, because on mine I had the BBSs and they were 18s and they used to rub.
Right.
They used to rub on the back arches like mad.
So they were just too big.
Yeah, and someone went, oh, well, just fold the in it. But nah.
Nah, you're far
Just
better.
wrecked the
Different
car,
size
yeah.
wheels, all that.
And I'm glad I did, because the guy that come out and bought the car, he was a perfectionist. Like, he was over
And
the
if you
car.
done that,
Yeah,
they'd have been...
and he went over it and he went, he said, I'm glad that you didn't heavily modify it, because it was running stage 1 at the time.
Aye,
He
aye.
went, but it's just right. He said, because we sorted out the turbo lag and all, because we put, obvious now they do the billet wheels, but back then I had it all machined
Right.
as billet.
Aye.
So it used to spool up a lot better, I had more fan blades on it, so
Right,
it was
aye,
a hell of a lot better on spool up.
Aye.
They used to just die off higher in the rev range.
So it was better adding.
Yeah, you get tons of boost and then come about 5.5, it
You
just
just
drop
switch
off.
off. Aye,
Yeah.
right.
Because the 5-speed boxes in these, aren't
Aye.
they? Yeah.
Aye. It's a good gearbox. And that. It's been rebuilt.
Oh yeah, they're quite bulletproof to
Aye.
begin with.
Yeah, I've got a folder like this with what
Have
we
you?
done to it. Aye.
No way.
The cylinder head cylinder head was done, reconditioned.
Bloody hell.
Turbo's been reconditioned. Gearbox been reconditioned. Brand new Ford clutch in it.
Seriously?
This was all before I got it. So
And you
that was
paid
it.
11.
That's yes.
God.
The only thing wrong with it was when I got it, the spoiler was lying inside the car. Cut springs in the front of it.
Oh.
First thing I did was new springs in, spark springs into it, and lifted it back up again, and put the front spoiler back on.
Yeah, but look, it's more drivable.
Yes.
You can use
and
it
I can
on a
go over
daily
speed
basis.
humps and everything.
Exactly.
Aye. I didn't have to worry about speed
Yeah,
humps.
because that's a big lip, that, isn't it?
Aye. But that's it. The intercooler's that depth as well.
Yeah.
So it's lucky it didn't knock it off.
Oh.
It's an RS 500 intercooler in it.
Oh, have you put a bigger one in?
That was on it.
Bloody hell, and you paid 11.
Aye. The only thing I put on it's the airbox, because it was a cone filter, and the turbo heat shield.
If I sold you this for 11, I found out how much you're worth now, I'd have threw myself off a bridge.
Well, I bet if you
Imagine go past a car show and you're like, I'm polishing it. Thank you. Thank you very much.
He did that. Well, he didn't do all the work. Some of the work had been done before he got it.
Bloody
He
hell.
only had it a year, fella.
Yeah.
He's more into his motorbikes, I think. That was he wanted it just away from his motorbikes. So I was quite lucky.
To give up this.
Aye.
It's like I said, it's absolute diamond of a car, isn't it?
I mean, the bits needing touched up in it, but I've just left them. I mean,
Oh.
because you spoil it if you start to touch them in and things like that.
The thing is, when you start chasing that, and this is what I done, I started chasing perfection, and it was completely financially draining me. One. Two, the car was off the road most of the time.
Right.
And three, I used to drive at 20 mile an hour everywhere because I didn't want to get a stone chip.
Aye,
And every time a car passed on the opposite lane, I used to pull wider
So you
to
wanna
get
get
away
stone
from it.
chips, aye.
Yeah, so by the time you worked all that out, it was like, God, I'm not even using it.
Well, my XR4, I got the bumper painted 2 weeks later, stone chips. Why am I bothering?
It's not, and the thing is, with Ford back then, they were
And it's
really
just-
skinned on the
you don't
paint.
notice it
weren't
that bad, it's down the bottom.
they? Nah.
The top is.
Oh, come on. Look at the rest of the car. None of that's going to throw your eye on it, really, is it? Like, I never looked at that when I first looked at the car. You look at the bigger,
Aye.
wider arches,
That's
got
right.
that lump under the bonnet. Oh, my God, it's
And you look in the
amazing.
mirror, it looks the part, doesn't it?
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Aye, or
It looks
behind
mean,
you.
it looks pissed off all the
And the
time.
wheels are right out to the outside, you can, that's it, you're right. Aye, aye. So,
It's just the whole car
Ford
just
got
looks
it
like
right.
it's on steroids.
Aye, it is.
This is, I was saying this the other day. I was saying because the chasing this coefficient of drag that much for electric cars to get the best out of it. Now, the aerodynamics are heavily dictating the shape of the car.
Yes, aye.
So now, all car manufacturers are looking the freaking same. So, like, back then they used to step outside the box with all these. But look at that, even back in
Aye.
the day with that. Every Ford was different. This is where Ford's losing it. Like the chasing, it was the Mach-E now with
I
that,
seen
and it
that
looks
last night,
bloody
yes,
ugly
aye,
as
aye,
sin.
aye.
It just looks like a stretch Mustang.
That's right.
But they're not bonny car to begin with.
No.
But if you look at all these back in the day, like the RS Turbos, the XR2s, they all had their own little thing
That's right.
going on. You knew what it was when it,
Aye.
even just by the
Well,
sound
the cars
of it.
nowadays do what the cars are.
No, you don't.
you see them, what make is it?
Well, we've got an Audi, and now all the new Audis, if it come down the street, you think it's a BMW until it gets on you,
And then
you go, ah, it's an Audi.
Aye. But when you see it in the distance,
Oh yeah, you see these round the street, and you just go, that's Cosworth.
Aye, aye.
Cosworth straight away, you knew.
Well, it's funny when I was coming in this morning to pass that other car.
Straight away.
You're not liking it.
Do you want to stop see what they do for one of these?
Oh yeah, of course I do. But then the youngins don't understand what it is.
Yeah, yeah. Mind you, I've got to be fair, some of the youngins know about them.
Ah.
Yes, aye, there's some of them clued up in them, so there is. Aye. What the fella was saying.
Well, I was talking to a guy the other day. He's got a YouTube channel. He literally, he got a Tesla, and he started putting like audio gear in it, and he put a 10,000 watt stereo system and all that in. And anyway, he turned it up and he went down the road. He got 40 mile.
Because I took it
Took all the power. 40 mile.
So that'll be coming back out there, isn't it?
Oh, it bit him. It bit him. He was saying, he said, I was on the electric pipe dream. He said, but now I'm going back to petrol.
The only thing I was surprised was they connected it up. Aye.
Well, they were doing the thing with the Teslas, weren't they? Because they were waiting that long. They were putting driving games in them, so you used the proper steering wheel. But then Tesla drivers were getting vibrations through the steering wheel after a while.
Right.
And while it was, they were on a standstill in the car park, moving the steering, just putting bald spots on tires.
Tires,
Yeah.
because they're moving it.
Yeah. Why is it doing that? Because you're rubbing your tyres away. But yeah, it's crackers. So do you think you'll have this much longer then?
Yes,
Yeah, all the way. Good.
better have money in the bank, isn't it?
Yeah. And the fact is, it's in good hands. Because that's how I look at it. Sometimes when you're going to sell that car, you got to think. Because where's it going? I sold a 55,000 mile Astra GTE 16 valve. It was mint. Still had all its original underseal on. Fuel pumps were all original. It was mint. And I sold it to a biker. And he come off the bikes because his missus told him to because he had a crash.
Right.
So he had, back then they were about $3,000, so I sold it for that. And anyway, he started whinging about stupid shit over it. And then he was going, I'm going to put a Cleaver turbo motor in. I went, don't. It's like totally original. Don't touch it. It's unmolested. Anyway, it's down on driving Swansea on bricks. Pulled everything out and they put back.
Never done it yet. So it's just a wasted car.
Yeah, it's rotted inside out.
Aye.
And I went, you know what? Like, so now I really vet who I sell cars to.
Who you're selling today.
Yeah.
You can't do that because sometimes you just got to let them go. You can't.
I know you're checking on Facebook, like where's it gonna go? How long's he gonna keep it for?
You really want to sell it to somebody you know.
Yeah, exactly. It's like it's passing your child on to someone.
it
You want to
is.
make sure where it's going.
But no, I'll just keep it open.
Yeah, I don't blame you. I tell you what, if you ever want to sell it, contact me.
Right.
I'll buy it straight off you. Trust me, I'll buy it.
I've just bought a Mark II Escort shell though.
Have you?
I'm building a Mark II Escort.
Oh, nice. What are you doing, putting Cossie lump in it?
No, just the
All
ST170.
Yeah.
It's about 190 beats.
Oh.
It'd be enough.
Well, like I
I'm
said,
putting in
there's
throttle bodies.
there's
no extra
no bloody
bodies.
weight in them, though, is there?
Aye.
That's the thing.
It's a new shell, so it's not completely right, but I can sort it.
Was it a brand new, was it like a remanufactured shell?
Yes.
Because they were making them, weren't they, down
yes,
south? Yeah, I remember.
It come from Ireland. I found it come from Ireland.
Oh, brill.
I bought it on eBay. It was come with an RS 2000 logbook, so I could put it straight on the road.
Oh, brill.
Aye.
Thing is, you can...
And I've actually hit it lucky. A fella just 20 mile, no, 10 mile from me. He
Seriously?
had an RS 2000, stripped it down to get it welded and painted. He was away for 6 months, and then he got a phone call. The garage it was in and burnt down. So the shell's lost completely because it's twisted.
Oh, God.
But the good news is he's got all the bits for it. So I'm getting the bits from him. So I'm
Bonus.
getting RS
So
2000
it's like
seats.
the good stories kind of
Aye.
come out of it.
He lost the car plus $7,000. The fella wasn't insured.
Well, Pontiac America's just done that, haven't they? And they bought the Burt Reynolds one, a 78 that he owned.
Right.
And anyway, the place burned down.
And you,
I was like, oh my God, like how good you plan it.
And that's it gone.
Oh, it's gone, yeah. Well, they were on about raising money for it, put back on, but it's not the same.
No.
You know,
no wonder burnt
his
it down.
ass has never ever set in the new
No,
seats that
that's
you're
right,
putting in.
aye, that's
And that's
right,
what people
Aye,
really
you're buying the
do
history.
want.
Yes,
Yeah, you're
aye.
buying the history.
That's right. Aye.
But yeah, but
No, I'll not be selling it for a wee while. There's value.
yeah.
The good thing is the number was on the back of the lamp.
How's it?
So TMS, they can get value of lamps. So I just phoned them up. Can you get this number? Aye, no problem.
Straight swap.
I just ain't got ready to put them on yet.
That's mint though.
I will do.
See, Ford need to revisit these days.
Aye.
Because they cancelled the RS programs, didn't they?
I don't think there'll be another RS.
Nah,
I think
that's it, it's done.
which is helping my new year because it'll be worth more money.
It's a shame because Ford were all about
Aye.
people's car and
They've made up their mind. They're going to stick with the ST
yeah.
because it's selling easy.
Oh
And
yeah.
they're making money out of it. Never
Well-
made much money out of the RS.
Well, the first engines that they had, the Volvo engines, the 5-pot, were better than the ones that they've got now.
Aye, that's
Because
right.
in the RS, the modern ones, they're having problems with ice crystals in the intercoolers, so they put a little plastic
Right.
to solve the problem. But they were cutting corners. Then it had a floating deck, and it was moving, so they suffer from head gasket problems.
Mine just had one.
Yeah,
Aye, put a head gasket on it.
it's mad, isn't it?
Aye. It is.
But yeah, Ford definitely need to relive this.
But so the Mark III might be the last RS.
Oh,
So
it's a shame.
that
'Cause
is.
like I said, the RS programs were
Just had to put money into it at the end of the day.
freaking electric, and it's spoiling everything. It's going to get to a point where it's going to be that
I'm
boring.
saying I'm not going to get in, but I didn't fancy it.
No, I don't.
I like my petrol things.
I think I'll be manufacturing my own petrol if they stop it. Be like moonshine.
I'll be coming to get filled up there.
Please click subscribe and hit the bell icon for more content, and we'll keep you up to date as much as we can with upcoming videos.